Okay, so I think for today's video, I've got a handful of edits on the computer from Reels and stuff like that that I'm gonna play, and then I can maybe talk about and show some of the editing behind the scenes, some of the thought process, and I think that might make for a good production style video. Let's roll it. Okay, so video one is kind of this scouting drone type shot, and I guess nothing crazy as far as an edit is concerned. Now, I did mark here a beat change to drop from clip to clip, and actually these are all kind of timed. Like if I increase this soundbar, you can kind of see them a little better. All these cuts are right on the beat changes. This one's probably a touch off, but all these are on the beat changes. Notice here in the first two shots, like we have a moving type shot followed by another moving type shot. Now the original shot here did not have, I'm gonna go ahead and take the transform off. It was very basic, like I just walk into the screen. Okay. What I did is I added a transform where I got a little tighter. I wanted to see these antlers. And then I wanted to basically make it zoom out. So it's just adding a touch more motion to it versus the original where it was just stationary. Note this shot here was I flew the drone at eye level. I kind of wanted to think a guy walking through the woods would be seeing this after I laid that out in this first shot here. I'll note here my drone setting was on the what they call tripod mode, and that keeps it really steady. So even if you're mashing the controls, it won't go very fast, and it keeps the drone pretty steady. Now what I did here is I did speed up this footage. The original footage was shot at like, I don't know, 100%, but it moved very slow. This is about 2 times the speed just to keep the pace. This shot here is pretty basic, nothing moving, but those antlers are moving in the shot. So that works well here. This is the same shot, but I have punched in a ton. And this is where the video like takes it to the next level, I feel, when we reveal the earn it phrase for the company. I would have done this in white, but the text they sent me is red. That being said, the easy way to do this would be to like go into your text layer and use a cropping feature and have basically crop it at the left, leave a keyframe, and then reveal it. So it would look, let's see here, left, you would like keyframe it and then make it reveal as the guy, wait, it'd be the other way. It'd be from the right. So you could keyframe it and then have it revealed. Now what I did is I used this draw mask tool, and I'm gonna tell you for time's sake, if you're wanting to learn about the draw mask tool, what that basically allowed me to do is, let me see here if it'll show it. It allowed me to draw around this backpack and then reveal the text behind it. It took literally, this whole video took an hour to shoot and then probably took me an hour to edit, and I would bet 45 minutes of it were spent drawing this text reveal. Maybe not the best use of my time, but that's how that worked. And then this additional shot is the same as this shot here, but I cropped in and I moved it way over so that I had plenty of room to reveal this text. I'd actually thought this thing through before going to the field that day. But that's all I got for that one. I guess the other main thing on this shoot is I shot it at about 9-10 in the morning, so I didn't have like a lot of hard sun. And again, I would say the other big key, like secondary thing, is I added motion to clip 3, because I've got motion in clip 1 and clip 2, adding it to clip 3, and then again you got the big text reveal. I mean, that's a pretty sick way to end the video, and you could do that with a number of things that have a title that you're doing short versions of. Alright guys, so I'm out here scouting, shed hunting today, and I want to go through what I carry in the woods during this time of year. Start things off, always got something to drink, little electrolytes, keep you going. Okay, this is a basic gear bag dump video I did, and I would say some of the keys here is you can see in my post-production I have cut this thing up, and my goal is to eliminate dead space to give it like a faster pace. Like in the world of social media, like right here, this is probably a touch too long of a pause. Like I definitely could have clipped that down like this just to keep this thing rolling. A few overlays as far as what I was talking about, like I was out scouting today, so I used the drone clip, cropped it in to fit the vertical format. I shot this clip in the field as well. Antlers are never a bad thing. And now we're back to this. Now, I will say this. I shot this on the camera I'm using now. This is the ZV-1. And the big key there is I'm shooting this thing. It is full-blown sun. There's a built-in ND filter in this camera that I turned on. What an ND filter is sunglasses for your camera. And basically, this shot would look way worse without the filter. Once you start shooting in full sun, you really need some ND filters, or you could shoot it in the shade. Clearly there's no leaves on trees this time of year, so shooting in the shade is not the best option, or shooting at dawn and dusk. Obviously those are better times to get the color, get the feel. This is obviously way blown out. Even with the filter, it's a little harsh on the lighting in my opinion. Okay, we talked about pace. I've cut any pauses in my audio. The other thing I use here is a jump cut. So it's the same clip, but I literally go from 100% zoomed out to 130 zoomed in. And I do that a few times throughout the video because it seems like there's a new clip added. Again, you can see it right there. I go back to 100 and then back in. Then an overlay, obviously, of the gear item I'm talking about. There's another really good jump in, I think somewhere in here, maybe not. Oh, right here. This is a very extreme one, but the product's front and center. It's a energy drink. But yeah, I would say the two things that really crush this is the pace, cutting out all the paused audio because nobody wants to sit around and wait for information, and then shooting this thing on an ND filter. I shot this thing using just a small tripod that carried in the bag. Very easy edit, but just a couple of things to take it to the next level. Okay, let's look at this reel. It's literally a one-shot reel. A little bit of execution on the infield start. Starting things off, you can see it's like blurred, and that was done intentionally. I switched the camera to manual mode, purposely threw it out of focus. Knew I wanted to shoot this thing with autofocus, with the wide autofocus type feature, and I think I set my aperture to 4 because I still wanted a little room for error versus like say a 2.8 or something even lower. And all I did here was speed ramp this up, where it's an antler, right? So I wanted to pause on the dramatic pickup of the leaf. But I started this at normal speed, increased it to like 4x to zoom in real fast, then a very slow 20%-ish pickup. And I spin this antler, so I revamped it back up to like go like 4x to just turn it real fast, and then another pause. And then again, the same trick. This one's kind of cool because I move the antler a lot, so it almost does 2 motions, and then a slow on this squirrel bite. But it is one clip, and the only major execution was flipping the camera to manual focus, hitting record, and then changing it to autofocus to start this thing up so that the antler comes into play as far as what you're seeing. But you add that to a catchy reel that's going popular right now, and it is literally a very good piece of content with about 10 minutes of editing for 8 seconds of video. But that's just a cool little thing. The speed ramping, I use the Shift B function in Final Cut down here. You can also cut these and then just retime, but then you lose like what I call like the transition from slow speed to normal speed. You can see this gray area, and that's where the speed ramp is changing from 20% back to 100 in a like fluid motion. If you cut and paste or cut clips and then just use retime or whatever, it works. Sometimes it doesn't look as good. Sometimes it looks better. But I've used the Shift B function for a lot of my speed ramps based on an editor I like online.